Sometimes when you are trying to help somebody troubleshoot their system, it can be very helpful if you could actually connect to their system and see a session of their system so you can see exactly what they see and maybe even get in and do the configuration on their machine for them. Well, Microsoft has a tool built into Windows 11 which can help you do this, and that tool is called Remote Assistance. Now, real fast before I show you how to use Remote Assistance, I do want to point out that there is one change that you might have noticed on my desktop here, and that is in the top right, you'll see it says Client. And the reason why is because in order to demonstrate this, I have to have two systems, right? I have to have a system representing the actual person who's having trouble. That would be the client. That's this machine. And you have to have a machine representing the person who's giving the help. And that's another machine that I have set up and connected here. And what you're going to see when I'm on that machine is the same desktop, except for it'll say support. Okay, that's going to be the support machine. All right, so now that we know that, what we're going to do here on the client machine is the user has called in and asked for help. So we're going to ask him to go ahead and click on Start and then type in Remote Assistance. And when they do, you'll see here that we have a couple of options. And depending on your system, I've seen either one be the one that it finds first. We could either allow remote assistance invitations to be sent or invite someone to connect to your PC. What we need to do first is make sure that we are allowing remote assistance to take place on this machine. So I'm going to click on that selection. And in this window, there are two things we have to have selected. The first one is we have to have the checkbox that says allow remote assistance connections to this computer. If that is not checked, we are not allowing anybody to remotely connect. Another thing that needs to be checked is down on the bottom where it says remote desktop, you have to allow remote connections to this computer. Okay, that's just overall in order to have any kind of remote connection. All right, so now that I have everything set, I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And then we're going to click Start once again and just simply type in remote assistance again. And this time, we're going to take the other setting, which says invite someone to connect to your PC and help you or offer to help. So I'm going to click on that. And it's asking you, do you want to ask for or offer help? Well, in this case, since it's a client who's asking for help, we want to ask, which you'll see here it says invite someone you trust to help you. Okay, whereas the other option is if you're the helper, you would help someone who has invited you. I'm going to show you that in a minute. That's going to be on the support machine. All right, so I'm going to say invite someone you trust to help you. How do you want to invite your trusted helper? You have the choice of either saving this invitation as a file. You can use an email to send an invitation, or there is also an option called Easy Connect if you have that set up in your environment. Now, one thing that is consistent that can always be used is the option to save it as a file. So we're going to do that now. I'm going to click Save as File, and I'm actually going to put it in a shared folder. Okay, I have a folder that I've set up that is shared, and this just says Invitation. You'll notice there's an actual file type called RA, which is Remote Assistance Invitations. So I'm going to click on Save. And at this point, you also have to give your helper not only the invitation file, but you also have to give them this password right here, this 59J43M8DMGFZ. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over to the support machine, and I'm going to access that invitation file. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to copy this password real fast. So let me go ahead and copy that. All right, let's jump over to the support machine. So here we are on the support machine, and I'm going to go ahead and again click on Start, and then we're going to type in Remote Assistance, and I'm going to click on Invite someone to connect to your PC and help you or offer to help. This time, we're going to say that we're going to help someone who has invited you. And then we're going to use an invitation file, and I'm going to go to the shared location, which is Training PC Shared. Here's my invitation. And now I have to enter the password that I had copied. And so there's the password to go ahead and connect, and I'll click OK. Now at this point, all I'm seeing is a black screen here. I wonder why that is. Well, I'm going to show you why that is. We're going to jump back over to the client machine. So here we are back on the client machine. You'll notice that it says, would you like to allow Lieberman to connect to your computer? That's the name of the user I have set up on the support machine. And it says, after connecting, Lieberman will be able to see whatever is on your desktop. So I'm going to say yes. And now that I've clicked yes, let's jump back over to the support machine. So now I am over on the support machine, and you might be thinking to yourself, you are? It looks like it still says client. Well, it still says client because I am seeing the client computer. In fact, you see how there's an extra little cursor sitting over there? That's the other client's cursor. If I were to minimize this window, you can see I'm actually on the support machine. But here is where I can see that I am connected to the client machine, and I can see everything that's actually happening. So anything that the user that's asking for help, any actions that they take, I can watch them navigate this machine. Now, in addition, I mentioned that you may want to actually just take over and start configuring the machine for them once you know what the problem is. And that is, there's a button here that says request control. And if I were to request control, the client would then, well, actually, I'll tell you what, I'll do that. I'll click on request control. You can actually see it. It says, would you like to allow Lieberman to share control of your desktop? Guess what? If I try to click here, I can't. And the reason I can't is because I'm visually seeing this, but the reality is that the client machine, that user needs to go ahead and click yes here. And if that user was to click yes, I would then be able to actually navigate the client computer to give them full support with remote assistance. All right, so in the event you ever want to at least see the client computer, you can see how you can very easily use remote assistance to do that. And in fact, you can go one step further and you can even take control of that computer if necessary.